Okay guys, so I think we're live. I'll find out. But anyways, get you set up here. Let me know if you got volume and if the picture's fine and everything else while I get this set up on my computer. So we're back working on the motor here, the Onan 2-stroke out of the Miller Trailblazer. Just trying to clean it up. We was polishing the crank. I'll show you that in a second. As I get everything set up over here. Polishing the crank and trying to clean it out a little bit. The shot there. Maybe. Let me adjust my camera here. The problem with live streams, you always got to adjust stuff until it's ready. I got one person watching. Let me know if you got volume and let me know if the picture's all right. Oh shit. So on this crank, I don't know if, I think in the last video I showed you the crank and how there was chunks in the crank, and I took the flat file and went through and filed all the pieces of metal off of it. And then I went through in that video and I took like 400 grit, 1,000 grit and sanded it down. But I came back through today and started over at 400 grit. And started at 400 grit, 1,000, and took some metal polish and polished that journal. That journal's looking real good now. Now it still has that divot in it where the piece of metal went into it, so it has like a low spot, but everything else about that looks pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that. So we got that. I tried to take this oil pump off, this oil, to clean this thing out, but you really can't take it off unless you take the crank out, and I'm not taking the crank out of this motor. So I'm going to take the piston out of this motor and clean it up, and then clean the cylinders here. But I'm not taking the crank out, and I can't take this thing off. So I cleaned it as best I could with it in here, because there's a bunch of stuff in here. Other stuff to clean it also later. So hopefully everything's working out. We're 4 minutes into the stream. And I don't got nothing set up. I was wanting to have my computer and everything set up before I started this, and I forgot to. So anyways, also on this motor, we've got some broken off bolts. So I ordered some of these. We're going to try to use these today. And this is just the drill bits and then the screw extractors. I'm going to see if I can get some broken off bolts removed from the engine. Shit. And my computer's not working. So anyways, so the crank's looking pretty good. I'll take pictures of the crank and I'll post it to the community thing where you can post the pictures and stuff after the live stream's off. Let you guys look at it if you want to look at it. The crank's pretty good though. Now what we're going to do is get a piston. We'll be halfway there. As soon as I get my computer set up, we're going to start working on this thing a little bit. We're trying to work on it anyway. I don't know how much we're going to get done because with this thing being polished, I do want to try to get that piston out. I had trouble trying to get it out in the last live stream. I couldn't get it out. So I can't read comments because of my computers. I'm still trying to set that up. I forgot to set it up first. So as soon as I get this pulled up, I'll be able to read any comments I need to make them. I'll be able to see how the live stream's actually doing. So just give me a couple seconds and we'll get started. On the bottom of this motor, there is some look at that. Just laying there on the side. I'm gonna try to clean this out. I got some carburetor cleaner. I'm gonna turn this motor upside down and try to. There's a bunch of gunk laying, and I guess it's the top of the end, not the bottom. And see if we can get that cleaned out. Okay, I don't know what's going on with my camera, with my thing, but I'm all sideways. So let's try something here. I don't know why this camera doesn't want it to work. Let me try something. I want to do it in half screen. I don't get that. At least it's straight, but I don't know why it doesn't want to do it. Whatever. Until I figure this out, we're going to have some screwed up live streams, I guess. But whatever. I might have to get a different camera for the live streams. So someone's out there watching. Give me a thumbs up if I've got volume. I'm not showing I got volume on this thing. I got the volume turned off. No, I got the volume off here. Hold on a second. Let's try that, see if I got volume now. There we go. All right, cool. So the volume's working. The picture's pretty good, except it's the short long screen. I don't know why it's like that. Whatever. I gotta figure out why my camera keeps doing that. Because I used to shoot live streams with this camera, and I didn't have this problem before. Whatever. So, anyways, on this motor. Okay, up on the top up here, You can't even see that. See if I can get this spun around. See what's going on here. I still can't really see it. There's a broken off bolt on this exhaust port right here. So I got to try to get that out. There's not enough to really screw a nut on and weld it on to try to get it out. I think I tried that before and it broke off. I also got 2 broken off bolts on the heads here. So we're going to, but that's what this is for. We're going to try to use a drill hole in it and stuff like that. But before we do that, what we're going to do is clean this motor out. You're going to see how nasty that is in there. And this is what I've been cleaning out of that all day today. So with my brake clean and stuff like that, not brake clean, carburetor cleaner, my carburetor cleaner, we're going to try and see if we can get some of this stuff cleaned out. It's nasty up in there. So let's move over here. So drain out properly. And up in exotic wild animal, I'm not sure what I'm talking about there. Anyways, in this cylinder wall right here, I don't know why there's grease, but there is some serious grease down inside here. Looks like grease out of a, like wheel bearing grease or something like that, stuck down in that piston. I'm not sure why that's like that. Not sure why that's like that. Anyways, a little bit of frosting on there, I think. Most of this cylinder wall looks pretty freaking good. A little bit of surface rust or something right down in there. Maybe it's just hardened grease. Might just be hardened grease. Oh, I got a small heater on over in the corner. Hold on a second, let me shut it off. Is that better? I had a small little heater because I got my fire going on my wood stove, but it's not the warmest. It's not bad now. I've never shut the heater off. Let's see if that sounds any better for you. Anyways, what I was going to do is put some of this on here. Clean that cylinder well, honey. So the whole way down at the bottom here. Not really, it's there on that side. So, except for that one spot, it's like a little bit of surface rust or something in there. I don't know. Hoping it's just like hardened grease and it's just going to wipe off. I don't think it's going to. I'm not sure what we're going to do about that yet. But anyways, that's not too bad. Let's see if we can take some of this stuff and see what kind of slop we can get brought out of this motor. I should put some eyeglasses on. I mean, no carb cleaner in my eyes today. Not today. That's not working the way I thought it would. Well, that might be a rust. Yeah, that might be a rust. I was kind of hoping I could get some carburetor cleaner. Get that cleaned out a little bit. Not really. Not really. No. My wheels are all seized up on my motor. My motor stand. So if it happens, I'll be left it outside for 15 years. So anyways, like the reason I said about the heater was I made a video once and the heater was running in the background. I didn't realize it was running because I really can't hear it, but the camera picked it up really good, and when I went to edit it, all I could hear was the motor of the heater running like in the background. It kind of the whole audio for the video. So I had to come back out and reshoot a whole, you know, it was a 10-minute video, but in reality it took like an hour to shoot a 10-minute video. It takes a lot longer to shoot a video than the 10 minutes that you see. Okay. So. Anyways. Well, the carb cleaner didn't work on that for whatever reason. I'm trying to keep from tearing the whole motor down to a bare block to clean it out. But the more I mess with it, the more it seems like I'm going to have to do that. I really don't want to take the crank out if I don't have to. But I was hoping I could just come in here, clean up the crank a little bit, put a piston in it, reassemble, rebuild the carburetor, do some stuff like that and get it running. But it looks like it's turning into a bigger project. Every time I try something, I find something else that needs to be fixed in it. I don't know. So let me take this over. Let's look at these head bolts that are broken off. See what we got to do to get those out. Because this thing is not. Where's my ratchet? The bolt up on top that's broken up on this end. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that one yet. I got two head bolts that are broken off on this one. The messed up part about that is, whenever I get this motor after I ever get the motor working, and I put it back on that Miller Trailblazer, there's no guarantee that the welder part or the generator part on the welder's going to work, which means that would mean I'd have to figure out what's wrong with that and fix the generator and the welder. Which, if I got to fix all that, it's going to be cheaper just to scrap the whole project in there and just go buy another welder, because I've got several in my area that's selling between $1,000 and $1,500. That are basically, they're not the same one, they're the Miller Bobcats, but they're kind of the same thing. It might be a diesel engine. This is a gas engine. This is an older one. This was like an '89, I think. And keep them head bolts together. That's the only reason why I'm trying to get the way of doing as cheap as, or putting less money as possible into this thing, because I don't want to, I could go and get all the replacement parts and do a full rebuild and probably have a couple $100 in it, if not probably closer to $1,000. But if the welder part and the generator part don't work, then that $1,000 could have been spent on just buying a welder that already works. So that's why I'm not just being cheap. I'm just trying to figure out, once we get the motor running and the welder and if the welder and generator works, I won't have a problem coming back through and taking the motor back off and do a complete rebuild. Only getting the crank turned, everything like that. Take the whole block apart, have it cleaned, everything like that. Don't want to go through all the hassle, all that, put it all together, throw it on the welder, and then you've got a motor that works with no generator and no welder. So, whatever. That looks nasty. There's that. There's the head. That's nice and pretty. I gotta clean that thing up. I got a broken off stud right here, and I got a broken off stud right here. So what, just spin it by hand, Jim? If I can just spin it by hand, you should be able to test it? So I'm not, because I thought about that, but I'm not exactly sure how you test it. I thought maybe if I could figure out a way to get it to spin at like full speed, I should be able to plug something in and see if it worked. But, what, just like spin it by hand? Or like put some kind of, I don't know, like an impact gun or something on it to spin it. Them valves, I'm gonna take these valves out and clean them up. Try to take this piston out. I tried to take it out in the last live stream and I couldn't get it out. So I'm not sure exactly how we're gonna get that out yet. Here's my two broken off studs. So the only thing I need to do is put some PB Blaster on it, and then put a little bit of heat on it, because this is aluminum, so if I put too much heat on it, kind of screwing something up. But what we'll probably do is come back and weld a nut on this, and then take a wrench and, once you get some PB Blaster on there. Go from there. I don't know. The more I mess with this motor, the more nasty it looks. But I don't know. So I don't know if I got a nut to fit this thing. I might have a nut. I don't know. See if I can find a nut to fit them bolts. This is my only hope right here. I got 2 bags of hardware, bolts, and nuts. So I'm hoping, yeah, it ain't looking good. If we can get something that's going to be close. rust. That ain't gonna work. I don't know, we might be bust before we get started. Yeah, well, I guess we don't got no nut that's gonna work. I could probably make, where'd they go to? I might be able to make one of these to weld it on, but it's not gonna fit. That probably ain't gonna work. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I didn't think about doing that. So what I want to do here, let's see here. I got a broken off bolt up here I can't do anything about. I got two studs here, but I don't got any nuts to go on the roller. Onto them. Get some PB Blaster on that thing. So, I wonder what the chances are if I could have drill bit and drill that in. Probably not good. See if I can find a file down flush maybe. Alright. I'm going to try to file the top of this bolt down a little bit, see if I can get it a little bit flatter. And we'll see if we can come through and drill a hole in the center of it. We'll see what happens. What happened with this bolt is it broke off and it was longer than it was stuck out about like that. So I welded a nut onto the top of it, and I didn't bother to put any heat on it or put any like penetrating oil PB Blaster or anything like that. And I took a wrench and tried to spin it out and busted the bolt off again. That's why it's so close to the block. So not enough room to weld another nut onto it. I was thinking this one was down inside the block. It's not. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to put a drill bit on that thing now without going in crooked or something. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do about that. I did buy some. This is going to be another experiment that might end up going haywire. But I bought this stuff. They try to clean the inside of that motor out. Carbon choke cleaner. I also bought a couple quarts of oil, and I'm going to mix it with diesel fuel, thin it down, and run it through the motor a couple times, drain the motor out. Do it like 2 or 3 times and see if I can get the motor clean that way. Like I said, that might be a failed experiment too. But without tearing the motor down, I don't know how I'm going to get it clean. So, anyways. FedEx just pulled in. Someone's getting a package. You walk out here and see what FedEx wants. I don't know what would be coming today, but give me 1 second. I'll be back. I'll go around here and see what FedEx is bringing. Oh man, this is awesome. I think I know what this is. I wasn't expecting this until the tracking number said December 23rd, and today's the 21st. But let's open this up real quick. This is pretty cool that it came. Now let's open it up. Let me grab a knife here. Oh man. This is pretty cool. I'll tell you the story behind this in a minute once I get this open. This is pretty nifty. Oh, freak. See what else. Alright, cool. The piston for this motor. That is cool as crap. So, my last video, I was talking about this motor. I was working on this motor. And I was talking about how I was going to buy a piston, but the pistons in this thing were too expensive. So the guy got a hold of me on YouTube and said he had a piston. He'd send it to me. And I got a tracking number and it said it wouldn't be here until December 23rd, but it just came. FedEx just dropped it off a couple seconds ago. Let's see if this thing's actually going to fit in the... There's no rings on it. I get rings. That's no big deal. Pick up rings anywhere. That's pretty cool that came today. So that's the cylinder that goes in right there. And it should fit. Hopefully it fits. number should be the same, 173124. That's the one. 174-105. Should be a standard piston. That's cool shit right there. There's the piston that I've been waiting for. The guy sent me. I want to thank for that. Probably do another video on that at some point. But anyways, back to this thing. See if I can drill that out. We can screw it up. I'm sure we can. Anyways, that's working. see how far to go, but. I think that's deep enough. So we'll try that, I guess. See how that works out. Let's see if I can find me a hammer. Not really going in there. That's kind of screwed up. That drill is not really the right size for that. I don't know, that's kind of messed up. Guess when you buy something for $15 off Amazon, you kind of get what you pay for. I don't know, let's see. I think I got, let's see where it's at. See if one of these will work. Sir. You got it with these or anything? No. Not really. Let me do this one. Might be this one. Come on, get out of there. Let's go with that one. Try the small one first and hope it don't break off inside the busted stud. I don't think that's going to work either. know it's going in anyways. See what we can do. You're just gonna tighten up right. You're supposed to use a the tap and die, whatever that thing's called, but I don't got one of those. I probably do actually, but I don't want to spend 45 minutes looking for it. And this is not working. It's sliding off. Well, that's not going to work either. I'm just striking out all sorts of stuff today. So it's in there and it's catching, but Trusser ain't the right tool for the job. Obviously. Anyways, this has been definitely a bust. I did, however, get an awesome looking piston FedEx delivered to me about 15 minutes ago for this motor. And the YouTube channel that sent it to me was called Troublemaker. And he just seen the one video I posted last week and told me to send me told me to give him his address, he'd send me a piston. So I gave him his address. They sent it out and it got here today, which is cool. I was getting ready to order one of these and they were really expensive. Like for a piston and a rod like this was like, the cheapest I seen was like 90 bucks plus shipping off eBay. And I guess he just had one laying around or something. So I'll go in tonight and order rings for this thing, get the rings. Once I get the rings, we got to figure out what we're going to do about this engine to get it cleaned out. I don't want to put this thing in with the engine being a mess and everything. But I think, let me see here what we're at. Yeah, we're at 1 hour right now, and I've basically got nothing done in 1 hour. I've got the pin in, and it's caught, so it's catching, so it's starting to twist. But a humongous crusher wrench isn't the right tool. So I got to figure out what I'm going to use to turn this thing. That will turn this thing. Maybe a pair of vice grips. I don't know. Vice grips. I doubt vice grips will turn it. That'll probably just end up messing up the end, then you won't ever get it back out. So what I really need is one of those tap and die sets with that handle thing, and you can slide it over top of this and spin it out with that thing. But anyways, I got that one to take out, and I got two studs on this side I got to take out. So we got to figure out how to clean this motor. So for anybody who's wondering, we're going to start doing live streams a lot more often. I'm probably going to do another one tomorrow. So if you're interested in watching me doing nothing for an hour, and come on back and watch me do nothing for an hour while I try to get something done. More, I get everything kind of set up before I go live. That way we can actually get something done. I kind of wasn't prepared. I just decided to go live, and then after I went live, I was like, oh crap, what are we going to do? And I guess that's how it works out. So anyways, hopefully we can get this thing running. Hopefully we'll get it running here in the next couple of days. Or at least get it cleaned out in the next couple of days. I don't know. But I've been on for an hour. There's been a couple of us, a couple of you guys come on and posted some, an 8-point socket. I don't think it's that small though. It's really small, Jim. It's really small. I tried to see if I had a wrench. I don't have a wrench that small. A wrench would work. You might have a really small socket. I don't think I got any sockets that small though. I'll have to look after we go off. But anyways, like I said, I'll probably go live again tomorrow sometime. So if you want to come out and watch me, again tomorrow, screw around with this or screw around with something. I'll figure out something to do while we're going live. Come back and check me out tomorrow. But I've been on for an hour. That's more than enough. Thanks everybody for watching. Who's ever out there? Well, I know Jim's out there watching, and then Ted. I don't know who else is out there watching, but those two guys are out there watching. Anyways, that's it. Thanks everybody for watching. And like I said, come back and see me tomorrow.